From the Raw TV, Real and Willing Television, I'm Amante Hall.
And I'm Gabrielle Dorsami. So we are so excited because this is the beginning of season 17.
I'm feeling 17.
If you can't tell, we're pretty
Okay,
excited
sorry.
about it. And in case you haven't seen Raw TV before, he thinks it's American Idol. In case you haven't seen us before, a little bit about us. We are recorded live in Lakeland, Florida at
Lakeland.
Southeastern University.
Oh,
and we
that
like
school.
Southeastern University, and we think you will too. So in case you want to know a little bit more about what we do here, check out this.
So excited.
I know, it's the beginning of the year, and
Yes.
today we're talking about trading a six-pack for a six-pack.
Oh, it's not
And so
there.
since it is the beginning of the year, it's mid-February now, a lot of people have made New Year's resolutions. A lot
Yes.
of them to get fit. Have you made any resolutions?
No.
You haven't hit the gym, you're not
No.
like, I'm getting fit this year.
I stay in the bed.
You're saying that- well, you don't,
Stay in the
if you don't start the resolution, you can't fail. So that's the line of thinking, right?
I never started from the bottom because I
That's
never
pretty
started.
good. Well, I found this one stat, and it was pretty surprising, and it said that 80% of people who start their New Year's resolution at the beginning of the year, by mid-February, they don't go to the gym anymore. They're already done. They've had enough.
You know what? When I think of working out and I go to the gym and I go look at that person on the treadmill, I said, you did enough work for both of us. Why do I need
Those
to
super
do more?
buff people, I'm like, why are
Yeah.
you still here? You're done. Go home.
Like, you just hurt my feelings with them big arms. Like,
I
it's
know.
just not fair.
It's crazy. So we've decided to dedicate this episode to figuring out how to live a healthy lifestyle, and we're going to give you the tips with some special guests. But first, we're going to throw it to Brittany Duffy, our new Word on the Street correspondent.
Hey guys, I'm on campus at Southeastern University asking students what their 3 favorite meals were of this past week. Check it out.
12-count chicken nugget meal from Chick-fil-A, fried. Then second one probably be chicken Caesar wrap and a margarita flatbread from Crispers. Then third one probably be a burger.
After lunch, I go grab some Chick-fil-A, show you guys some. It's really good.
I had some tree bark that I got. It's really good. It's really good for fiber. So working out wise, I like that a lot. For me, I don't know what your favorite.
No, I kind of like asphalt. Truth be told.
Fried eggs, Brussels sprouts, and guacamole.
My 3 favorite meals would be bruschetta, hummus, those little pita chip thingies, and this orange.
Well, there was a wide variety of foods being eaten this week, from healthy oranges to not so healthy Chick-fil-A to even some stranger options like asphalt. Don't try that at home. What do you guys suggest?
Thank you, Brittany. Well, we are welcomed by not only our 2 beautiful panelists, Gabrielle Jeziorski and Austin Lehman, but our special guest, Vinola Rodriguez, and you are a Weight Watchers ambassador and coach, correct?
That's right.
So you know all about the ins and outs of living an all-over healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely, and excited about it.
Exactly. Not many people are actually genuinely excited about eating broccoli, but she is. So why do you think people our age tend to have some unhealthy choices or lifestyle?
You know, as a Weight Watcher coach, I became aware that the average human being makes 200 food decisions a day. 200. So if you compound that with a college student who's previously had their meals prepared for them and shopped and all of that, and now they're on campus and they have to do all of this by themselves, plus all the deadlines and all of that, it's not surprising that it is a challenge.
Wow.
Wow. You know, with all the habits going on, I feel like making those 200 decisions would make me struggle mentally. What are some tips, some healthy tips that you would give a college student to start a healthy habits, just to get into good habits? Because we need to fall into good habits. So.
Absolutely. There are 5 things that come to mind that a colleague brought to us because she lost a lot of weight after her college life.
And she works for Weight Watchers.
And she
also.
does work for Weight Watchers. And so 5 things that she would do differently. One, she said she would sleep more. Because when you're fighting tiredness, you're just eating more. And
Putting on more makeup to cover up the bag.
Exactly. And maybe your choices aren't as good as they could be because you're tired. The second thing that she would do is focus on what Weight Watchers calls power foods. Power foods are more natural foods. They take the body longer time to break down, so they make you feel full. So you're not hungry all the time.
What is an example of like a power food?
All your fruits, all your vegetables, your lean proteins, your fat-free dairy, those are power foods.
What is a fat-free dairy? I have to ask.
So any cheese, milk that would be fat-free.
So the ice cream's out.
Yeah,
that's
kind of.
Wait, so how do you tell someone that you can't have ice cream?
We never tell
Hide it.
people they can't have ice cream. The fantastic thing about Weight Watchers is no foods are bad. No foods are off limits. But you have the choice on what's going to make you feel better, and the power foods are probably going to help you with that. The other thing that we would say is take advantage of the workout facilities, which are free on campus, right?
Yes.
And then
that's
a
true.
little
That's
bit of
big
planning. If you could do some grocery shopping during the week so you have some sort of healthy option, maybe already chopped up
In our mini
vegetables or
fridges,
fruits.
right?
In your mini fridges, right?
We're harboring like Red Bull. What else we have in there? I'm just trying to think of like my own fridge. It's totally not. There's no like
Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, Pop-Tart.
And I saw that you have a grocery store right opposite campus.
Dang it! So we're blessed. We have no excuse. So why is it important as people our age to start living a healthy lifestyle now, opposed to 10 years from now?
Well, I always think you have so much demands on you right now. And, you have the option to fuel your body so that it performs at its optimum and so that you feel good, just energy-wise, emotional-wise. So why not? Why not give your body everything that it needs so that you feel your best when you need to be your best? Because this is you want to make some good impressions right now,
So
right?
what you're telling me is if I eat broccoli, I'm going to do better on my midterm than if I eat Pop-Tarts.
I never like to say that foods are bad, but just asking you, what does make you feel better?
Long term would
Long
probably
term.
Long term is broccoli.
We've all had those decisions. We're like, ooh, double stuffed Oreos. And then after you're like, bad decision.
Where's your
bad
point? More
decision.
like moderation. Probably everything in moderation.
Because, I bet you an Oreo can make your day sometimes.
Exactly.
Right?
And those cake pops.
Yes.
So I love the word moderation.
So going back on, you were talking about making a schedule, putting yourself in a position to be successful. I think as college students, we kind of struggle with the idea of being so organized. Some of us barely get out of the bed, let alone, I'm going to work out at 6, I'm going to get ready for my class at 7. Not happening. You're lucky if you get 1 sock on, let alone 2. And you're telling me to be organized. How would you encourage that? How do you motivate someone to say, hey, listen, let's live healthier. Let's live.
Just small steps. I bet you the girls, I know that you always look amazing. I'm thinking you spend like one day like doing laundry and making sure your clothes are organized.
If we're lucky.
I get the clothes clean, putting them away. Different story.
Okay, but it's one day. It's
Sure,
not like an
sure.
everyday, all day occurrence. So
yes.
if you could maybe just spend like a little bit of time doing some prep work, which would be getting the grocery, items into your mini refrigerator, maybe washing or cutting up vegetables if you can. So just a little bit of prep can go a long way because your environment plays such a big part in being healthy.
So it's not really just like if we're going to Publix, we don't have to like really set aside the money for that if we have a meal plan. How would you, what would you recommend if we have a meal plan to make better decisions? Because I know at our school, we have a lot of good options, but quickly, what are some easy ways to succeed in the lunchroom?
Thinking again about the power foods. So you know that foods that are more natural are going to make you feel fuller.
Okay.
And if you can really fill up with those, then you have less room for the indulgences is what we call them.
It's just so tempting at dessert table, though. It just stares at you in the face.
Just keep on walking by. Put the
Wear
blinders
glasses
on.
so you don't see it. It looks dark.
No, that's a really
Exactly.
good point, though. If you're full, you might be less apt to go for the cookies. Well, that's awesome. Well, we want to thank you, and we're going to see you a little bit later in the show. I want to hand it over back to Brittany with Word on the Street.
All right, so now that we talked about food and nutrition, let's pump some iron. I'm asking students what their workout schedule looks like.
I worked out last semester at gym. I just run, but this semester I haven't been going a lot.
Usually like to get into the gym as much as possible, play basketball or ultimate frisbee or something anytime I can, when I'm healthy, obviously.
We know on the football team, we work out Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Friday. We don't practice on Wednesdays.
I'm in RDG, so we like meet like 3 times a week, and like it's really intense. Like dancing is like a great workout. Like it's, you know, huffing and puffing all day long. So it's great and I love it, and it just gets me active and stuff and like really just active. So yeah.
I like to run, so I run probably about 3 times a week. It's not like a set thing, it's when I have time, especially with like school and stuff.
On Tuesdays and Thursdays, my workout schedule, that's when I usually work out. I do Zumba, and it's so much fun. I love it.
I fall out of bed and then I like to do some nose push-ups.
Welcome back with us. Man, Brittany does a great job with Word on the Street. I'm always shocked with some of the answers that we get.
She's good at invading personal space.
Yeah, she is. That's quite weird, too. Anyway, so we're talking about trading in a 6-pack of root beer for a 6-pack. Check it out. We have a guest with us right now. His name is Izzy Wooden, and he is an amazing weightlifter, right? You lift weights, you get it in, right?
Do a little something.
I mean, you look like that shirt is not big enough for you. It looks like it's about to just bow.
Well, hopefully it doesn't bow.
Izzy, I have a question for you. When is the best time to start a workout? When's the best time?
Now, Monte, that actually depends on what you're trying to do. So let's say you're trying to lose weight. Well, one of the best times to work out then would be getting up earlier in the morning because that's when your body is at its lowest point. If you're trying to...
Isn't that the truth?
Time out. You said early in the morning. You said early in the morning. You just lost me.
So tough. You might not make it.
Can we do 12? Can we do 12?
I mean, if that's when you're waking up, honestly, it all depends on when your body's awakening. But at that moment when you're at your lowest of
What does that mean,
water.
like lowest?
Like, so overnight, that's why I call it break fast when you eat breakfast, because your body's fasting through that period. So your metabolism's working, but on a lower level where it's not breaking down too much, but it's breaking down just enough to keep you alive while you're sleeping.
So you recommend doing it before breakfast then?
If you want to lose weight.
Once again, it depends on what you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to shred fat, like one of the things that I do in order to try to maintain a level of leanness is
all of this.
My coach has me do what's called fasted cardio. Now it's it's not getting up and I'm gonna run. No, if anything, it's putting the treadmill at like a slight incline and then making sure that I'm maintaining a good breathing pattern so that my heart rate can stay low enough to where I'm burning just fats.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious if I was wanting to start some of these, movements.
The robot
movements. How would we do that? Could you like show us some of those things?
Okay.
Can you show Monte?
Yeah, this is Monte.
You gotta start somewhere, right?
This is very true.
Okay, so what would you do if you want to show me something cool? Like, what would you say if I haven't worked out since 7 years or something?
That's a long time.
How would you get me active into doing something fun?
Well, first, obviously, we would meet and we go over what's usually called our fitness test. When I used to do personal training, what we do is bring in a client.
Scary already.
It's not that bad. Usually, it's really fun, and it just kind of wakes the person up on where they're at right now. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times, one of the first basic exercises we have them do is we have them do squats or wall squats, depending on what the space is like.
Okay.
And I won't lie, it can be a difficult exercise. So let me show you. So I'm gonna caddy corner myself just so they can get a better angle.
I'm gonna watch you.
That sounds good. So you want to make sure that your feet are slightly outside, shoulder width apart.
So I shouldn't wear these shoes though. Should never wear these. I'm looking too good for workout.
Yeah.
Okay. Just
and then the heel's gonna throw you off to your balance.
I told you not wear the stilettos.
All right.
So what we want to do is make sure that we're always rested in our heels too, because if we're leaning forward, then we don't have control over our balance, all right? And that can cause us to fall, get hurt, or a variety of other mishaps that could happen. So we want to make, once again, outside shoulder apart, and then your waist and your bottom work like a hinge. So when you're going down, it's like when you're closing a door. You're bringing it down right here.
That hurts.
It will hurt. If you're not used to it, it will hurt. But the idea is...
Is this the secret to looking like Kim Kardashian?
No.
This is not the secret.
No, unfortunately.
We just lost like 5 reviewers.
But it can help you get a toner, leaner, like, quads, hams, glutes. But once again, just making sure you maintain your posture because the body always needs to be in alignment in whatever type of exercise you do. And breathing is important.
Okay.
In through the nose. So it's like hydraulics. So we're going down.
Oh, okay. We don't got no music?
No, unfortunately we don't.
If I'm trying this, you're trying this.
But that's a basic squat.
Okay.
And then plank. So I'll show you. This is a good exercise to begin. Learning how to do
The
the
girls can try squats. The boys can do planks.
The girls gonna want to do planks too. You're gonna have keep tight, lean stomach, right?
What do you think, Amante?
So
you wanna try
here.
this?
So normally a lot of times we have people start on the hands, but being on the forearms is better. It lowers your center of gravity so that you can activate more of the core, including the obliques and lower back as well. So making sure that you're not too low because it puts pressure on your lower back. You're not too high because then you're not doing anything.
Can we test how strong you are? Can I like sit on your back?
But this would be a good basic format for a proper plank so that the core can be activated. Try to start with
How long should you plank at plank?
Well, I would say probably try to start with about 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Yes.
I can see you kind of like
like
shaking a little bit.
Yeah,
That's normal?
Yes, because what's happening is my stabilizers are being
You're
activated.
sweating.
I'm
Oh my
always
God.
I feel like your body's always, we work hard, baby.
Yeah, honestly we do. Put
Okay,
in
so
heavy work.
what else is, those are some two really good things to get started. What else would you suggest? Maybe have you ever worked with a client who is necessarily not able to do some of those things? How do you do something per se to help them?
A lot of times what we do as trainers is we have alternative exercise. So they're just different levels of that, like with the plank. Like maybe they can't plank, they can't get down. So we'll put them against the wall and make sure that they have a certain level of space between them, to hold up.
Just to balance them.
Exactly. Engaging the core. This is the most important area to start with because without it, the rest of the body can't.
We're trading a six-pack for a six-pack. It's a six-pack. So what is the
Very much
difference?
so.
Because I know some people want to bulk up, some people want to just lose weight. What's the difference between that and being thin versus actually just having a healthy overall body?
So, and once again, this all depends on what your plan is like and how much information and support you have and what you're doing. But like, so bulking, like for me, a leaner bulk, because that's what you want to do. You don't want to put an unnecessary bunch of carbohydrates and lipids, fats in your body trying to get bigger. If anything, you want to take it the right way by making those leaner gains. Those are going to help
It's like
make
a
sure
lifestyle
that you...
choice.
Exactly.
It's not just one thing, but it's all working.
Exactly. And then trying to maintain leaner just means that once again, that's with your food and then with your plan actually inside the gym or outside.
Is it bad to go work out and not have food on your stomach? It depends on what you're doing.
It depends, like I said, if you're trying to get rid of fats, yes, then you can, like in the mornings, like I said, what I was doing with fasted cardio is, at first it was 45 minutes. 45 minutes on a treadmill, incline, I'm walking, but being at this angle is causing my body to drain water from the core, lower back, and everywhere else. And then if you're just going to try to work out, you want to have food in there. And I eat normally right after the fasted cardio because my body needs a replacement.
How many days a week would you say? Totally?
Just start with
beginners.
Just start with 3. 3 days a week, maybe an hour of training. Boom.
Would you recommend getting, just quickly, a personal trainer? Yes, no?
Honestly, getting some information from a personal trainer is useful.
There you go. So if you really want more information, you're going to have to seek someone out who clearly knows what they're doing in the gym. We're going to toss it over one last time to Brittany Duffy.
So students have already told me about what they eat and how they exercise, but now it's time to put the two together and ask students how they really feel about staying in shape.
I think it's actually pretty important to me at least, because like I know like now I'm in my prime, so like by the time I'm 40, it's like I can still keep up with it now.
It provides discipline in your life, and also it helps you, stay strong for the industry that you're gonna have later in your life.
It's important. I like to think about like, I don't know, the future. Like it's like easy to live in the now and like think about where you are now, but like think about, the future and like how God wants us to be.
It's pretty important to me, even though I'm not really a stickler on it as much as I should for myself. It's really important because your body's a temple and you need to like treat it as such.
It's very important because I want to be able to live a long life for later down the road. If I do have a family, I want to be able to be with them for as much as possible.
Well, it seems like being in shape is very important to the students at Southeastern University. I'm Brittany Duffy with the Word on the Street. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Brittany. Well, we have decided to combine forces with our experts.
I like that.
I like the
Justice
fist pump.
League.
I feel like we need to do that too. There we go. There we go.
We have the high five.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
That's better.
So between the two of you, we've talked about kind of like creating a better lifestyle for you guys, and we've talked about kind of how it's important to start now. Between the physical aspect and kind of like approaching it from eating better, what are some like last tips that you would really say to kind of encourage our viewers too, that like this is not a battle that you cannot win, you know what I mean?
Once again, like you guys were talking about earlier, moderation is key. So maintaining the nutritional side with the physical side is what's going to give you the wellness lifestyle. That's what I like to call it, because you need all of them in order to make it happen. You can't have one without the other.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, how does having physical health, once you're there, how does it kind of play into other aspects of your life?
I mean, you want to have the capability to do. I see a lot of people like my age that struggle to reach or to bend down and tie their shoe, and different, or getting short of breath if they're walking, trying to get somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So adding in, like she was saying, adding in the right stuff into your body, that's your fuel, and then actually taking care of it, maintaining it. You don't have to do what I'm doing, but engaging in some type of functional training is what we like to call it. So the basics, in order to be able to do what's going to be necessary. And you're going to feel better.
Would that help your attitude?
Yeah.
Overall?
Yeah.
Maybe not in the beginning, but when you get used to working out and used to better eating, will that kind of overall improve your well-being?
Very much so. Your body's going to activate different hormones in itself because you're adding in the right type of things. And if it's running the way that it's supposed to be with the right foods, it's going to keep your endorphin levels higher. It's going to cause your metabolism to be faster. So you're going to feel better. Yeah, you're going to be eating a lot more, but if you're eating a lot more of the right things, you're going to do a lot better.
Izzy, I think you probably see this more frequently is when it comes to people coming in and saying, I don't feel emotionally ready to do this. How much is it being emotionally healthy playing a role as well as being physically healthy?
Huge role. The actual whole act of engaging in the wellness lifestyle, it all starts here.
You probably see that a lot too as being a coach for the people who come in for Weight Watchers and sign up. How is that like getting them emotionally ready to accept this new lifestyle?
Starting anything new can be challenging. When you do have, like I did, I had an amount of weight I needed to lose and I was very overwhelmed. I love a quote by Zig Ziglar. He says, "They say that motivation doesn't last, but neither does bathing. That's why we do it every day." So if you can get that motivation from somewhere, a personal trainer or Weight Watchers offers phone coaches. What we did is Weight Watchers was known in the past for having meetings, and last year we realized, not everybody is into group setting, not everyone has the time, like students. So we introduced a whole option, we call it Online Plus, where we give you all the tools to help you lose weight, and they will be on your mobile device.
Wow. Can you call them at all?
You can.
I'm about to eat this cake. Talk me out.
You can click to chat because how do young people communicate these days? Not usually conversational, more texting. So you can text a live personal coach like myself.
That's awesome.
24 hours a day, and they can help you navigate through some of the challenges. You can also have phone call motivational sessions and come up with a plan that's key to you, because all of us have different struggles. So we'll give you a plan that works for you, that's private, that'll get you make those first steps.
I feel like we mentioned kind of earlier in the show, and that's so awesome that you mentioned that, because I feel like the 80% of people who've signed up for the gym who just already gave up, it's February. Is it too late? I mean, I know there's been a big push at the beginning of the year, this is your year, 2015 is your year.
I'm gonna hit on the gym thing real quick. You do not have to be in a gym to work out. That's not what it's about. That's not what it's about. Being in the gym, usually, especially for someone who's brand new or coming back into fitness that has goals, that's probably the worst thing to do. Get somewhere private.
I never know if I'm doing it right. Is this really how you squat? Or am I supposed to feel this ridiculous?
Now, getting the right information is important.
So you're talking about research, doing your research, knowing what you want to do, knowing how you want to take care of your body.
The problem is, too, with the research is that there's so much information out there. There's a lot of vast information out on the internet. So you need to be able to watch. You should be watching and not so much in the gym to watch, but if you're going to go into a gym and ask for help, who's your best coach? Who's your best coach and what is their background type? Listen and absorb and then go look into that information, because you don't want to go in there doing something half-baked or half-concoct and not having a full plan, because all it's going to do is get you halfway there.
Absolutely. And is it too late? I'm 41 years old, and I lost my weight 6 years ago.
Wow.
There you go. I lost my weight and got fit 6 years ago, changed my life completely. So it's never too late.
And so there are really different options. And the reason I'm so happy we had both of you kind of contrasting this topic is because maybe someone is more cut out to have a personal trainer. And maybe is it true that some people may just need the coaching aspect and not really this is how you do your squats, this is how you do your workout?
You need it all.
You need it all?
Honestly, and you don't need a personal trainer forever. A good personal trainer, he's going to train you for 3 to 6 months, and then you should be able to go and actually engage with someone else.
We have a quote and that I hear often. You get fit in the gym, you get healthy in the kitchen. So you need it all.
Man,
So it really
I'm
comes
not
back
really
to
good
your
at cooking.
choices.
I need to
You
find
better
someone
team
good
up
at
with one of these pretty girls on campus, boss. Be like, look, you know, I got you. I'm gonna bring you on the show. You know, we're gonna talk about how you do your hair.
Wait, I don't know how to do that.
I'm sure you can manage.
Okay, I'll figure it out.
There you go. I love it. That's awesome. So, I mean, kind of like wrapping up here, what would you say to stay motivated? Because people might say this and they're like, oh, he knows what he's doing. I'm going to do my squats, or she knows what she's doing. I'm going to join Weight Watchers, whatever it is. How do they stay motivated?
You gotta.
I was like, you're gonna do
no,
it?
I'm saying you have to motivate yourself. You, just like she's telling her story, which is a humongous testimony because it is never too late.
Yeah.
It's really never too late. I had a client, she was 75 years old, and she had a rare blood disease. I'm telling you the truth. And she went from being able to barely do to just doing. It was almost like why I was just there to just kind of hang out.
75 with a blood disease, and she came and she, wow.
But
That's
once
amazing.
again, I mean, getting those people, because like we were talking about the motivation. See, it's more like being able to motivate yourself.
It's so good.
Having a partner is great, but being able to get in up here and
You're
make
saying,
it work.
you said the strength starts from within before it starts without.
Exactly.
You gotta have the eye of the tiger.
Yeah.
The inspiration.
No, I
so
don't like
really, subscribing to those Instagram, you know, the Fitspos and the thin girl, whatever it is not enough. You can't just see pictures and say that's what I want to do. You have to have a plan.
Exactly.
And the tools, and that's how the Online Plus can help people because it gives you the how-to.
That's awesome. So if we want more information, I'm sure you can contact either a personal trainer in their area or Weight Watchers.
WeightWatchers.com.
That's awesome. Guys, thank you so much
Absolutely.
for coming. And Monte, we've experienced a lot so far. We have got the tools we need if we want to make some life changes, and we hope that you guys can do it as well. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Monte, do you want to send us out with a word of prayer?
Yes. Lord Father, we just thank you so much for everything that you're doing, God. We appreciate the guests that you have brought our way, Lord. And Lord, teach us that the strength starts within before it starts without. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Guys, thank you again for coming to the first episode of Raw TV on season 17. We're very excited to have you with us. Make sure you keep up with us on our Instagram, Twitter, linked below, and we hope to see you next time. Until then,
always remember to live it raw.